Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today it's Manchild. Alright, so today for review, I'm going to take a look at our first Masters of the Universe cartoon collection 2000X inspired figure. In this case, Beastman. So here we go. First figure, right? A cartoon or a 2000X cartoon inspired collection. I remember seeing these at San Diego Comic-Con on display. I thought that they did say it was part of a cartoon collection. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a, part of the regular Origins but a 2000X subline. But no, they went with the cartoon, collection. So, there you can see just certain areas in the arms and legs. They're more simplified, but yet it looks like, at least for Beastman, the fur pelt, the face, does have a lot of detail. So yeah, it's our first oversized figure already. Again, being Beastman, I didn't expect that. And these weren't supposed to come out till like December. And Big Bad Toy Store were shipping these now. He still might be in stock. So here you go. All right, we got Beastman, as already mentioned. Box, cartoon collection sticker, and then you can see at the top we have the He-Man and the Master Universe logo with Castle Grayskull, paying homage to that regular 2000X inspired toy line that came out in the early 2000s, which I had not most, but I had a lot of that collection with the figures, and I probably sold them all off on eBay. I have one or two floating around somewhere. I have no idea. I did have Beastman. I kind of wish I would have still had them to compare them, because he had a lot more detail on them, but not a lot of articulation. So what's cool with these figures is that not only are they do have a good mix of detail, and in this case, an oversized figure like Beastman, but it's neat just to see him with all that new articulation, and he comes with a whip, it looks like. And I don't see another head. He has the open mouth style head with the eye, like wide open. That's pretty cool. I kind of wish he would have had a second head closed, but for what it is, it looks pretty cool so far for our first 2000X cartoon figure. And then here's a look at the art on the back of the box. So we can see Beastman snapping his whip against He-Man and Battle Cat, which He-Man is coming in these Wave 1, which should be out the end of this month or into next month, I believe. We can see that He-Man and the Master of the Universe logo up top. And this is pretty neat. You can see Shadow Beast all along the background. And this particular image was inspired of Night of the Shadow Beast from that episode, or the 2000X cartoon, which still holds up. That's a great animated series if you rewatch it again today. Dropping down to the very bottom, you can see a picture illustration of Beastman with the whip in hand. And they show a little cross-sell of Beastman, which we're reviewing now in box, and Ram Man as well. And then here's a look at the art on the right-hand side of the box. And of course, here's a look at the art on the left-hand side of the box. Okay, real quick, before we take a look at Beastman as accessories, he comes with a trading card. He does not come with a comic. So you can just see it shows some art like it did on the side of the box of Beastman and the He-Man and the Master of the Universe logo. And if you flip it around, it just gives a quick bio about Beastman on the back. And then here's a quick look around a new Beastman out of box with his accessories or his long whip. Taking a closer look at this new head sculpt for the 2000X cartoon Beastman. I think it looks pretty good for what they're going for with this line so far, at least with the first figure. It has a cartoon vibe, so it's more on the simple side, but yet complex enough to mix with your regular Origins because of the sculpting and you can just see where he sculpted around the fur, on the face, the detail on the eyes. So you do have the open eye on one side where it's raised and it's more squinting on the other. He did do that a lot in the show. I love that they gave him the open mouth. Now it doesn't articulate obviously, but look at all the teeth sculpted, showing, painted. The tongue is sculpted, painted in there. Good colors for everything. I like this dark orangish color, but yet you got the tan highlights around the face, the lighter colors. You can see the ears sculpted out, pointing on both sides. I kind of wish he also would have come with an alternative head to where it was just a closed mouth and he didn't have one eye, just two normal eyes where one wasn't raised and the other one was squinting. And I'm always one complaining, I wish figures would always come with, they have a closed mouth and an open mouth. And, well, that's what we get with this figure, so good enough. But yeah, really cool. So as far as the articulation with this head on the pelt and the body, now you can see it really sticks out because he's really hunched. Again, going back to that show, so it does make sense with this figure. But as far as articulation, let's see. So he can kind of spin, all right, like that all the way to the left. You can spin all the way to the right. That's as far as it's going to go down because the fur piece will hit this pelt piece, or look forward anyway, which, it's good enough looking forward, but he can't really look down much, a little bit. But he can go all the way up like so, like he's looking up. Pretty much it. And I just want to see something. So popping the head off the ball peg, so it's a regular Origin style ball peg. You see the neck sticking out like that. So, all right. I don't know what you're really going to do with customs with these figures right now, but for the most part, it's a regular Origin style peg. And that's, again, that's pretty much it in the head. Pretty cool. All right, so taking a look at this big the fur piece, fur armor. Again, good details. Got all the individual big fur pieces like sculpted all over the place. It's cast in like a flat brown color. I don't think it's painted. No, it's just cast. Has a couple the spikes or horns sticking out, smaller ones you could see on the front, and then the two larger ones on the top. They're like a soft rubber, so like a bone material, bone color, and okay, and two in the back. So spinning it around. Here's two individual ones on the back, and again, they're looks like they're pegged and glued in. And you can see the additional details in the armor. So yeah, big piece of armor, very soft. Right, see how you can pull it up. It's yeah, it is pretty soft. Just looking at it for a minute. Okay, and to remove it again, so I'm gonna remove the head again. I'll do this now, and it's just gonna pop off the body like so, and then let's put the head back on. And then here's a quick look at that fur piece removed off the body, and we can get a better look at the new buck. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Talk about oversized and large. There it is in larger arms, right? Here's a look from the back. Very simple. But again, good sculpting with the abs and just up top. A little bit of detail in the back. Not too profound. And here's a better look at the neck now with the head going forward without the armor. Just how postured it is, or hunched. All right, and again, here's articulation without that piece. Go all the way up, down, right, spin all around. And then, of course, there's a quick look at that fur armor removed off the body. So we talked about, yeah, pretty soft and flexible. The horns sticking up, and they're actually, oh, I see how they put them in, okay. So there are actually three pieces that's all part of this piece that's, yeah, snapped in and glued for the most part. So I guess you want to customize it. You could probably break this out and remove them if you wanted to. And that's pretty much how they go in and what the armor looks like. Okay, once again, putting the armor back on the body, let's move up to the arms. Look at the size of those arms. Wow. Talk about oversize. So as far as the articulation with these arms, at least the right arm, you can go all the way up like so, down to the body. Wow, they're really stiff. You can go forward, back. Does not have a bicep cut. You can bend at the elbow all the way like so, straighten it out, spin at the elbow, and then move the arm but that far to face and body because it really is hindered. I just want to see something. How does this come out of socket? It's a regular, it's really tight in there. All right, so it's like standard origin style peg, I want to say, arm peg. Just looking from the body on the inside, you know, on an angle the way they go in, like that. So put that back in. You can see the joint inside there. Put that back on. And then of course you have the, you know, his iconic bicep or the shoulder brace. With this one has two spikes with the strap, and it's falling off, so this obviously comes off the arm like so. There's a better look at that oversized bicep and arm, and it is huge. Pretty cool. I think that's a good design for Beastman or choice. I'm just going to push this back up right now. All right, so we talked about the elbow, the joint there, the arm, and then moving down to the forearm, which are really long. You have the wrist bracer. It's all part of the forearm. This is not a separate piece. You can just see it's all part of the sculpt, but painted. You can see the slop here. The spikes are really sharp. Wow. Yeah, interesting color. And then as far as the hands, he has two big weapon gripping hands with nails. And the arm just popped out. So let's take the arm off. Yeah, once you pop these out, you got to like straighten this out like so. See how stiff that is? I was playing around with it off camera. Wow, that's really stiff to try to push that back in. But with the arm off, so you can spin at the hand, right, as far as the hinge joint go in and out. And then I think these are regular Origin style pegs too. Yep, look at that, real small peg, just like the Origins. All right, so off camera, I put this arm back in. I just had to fiddle with it a little bit. And yeah, the more you mess around with things on this figure, they become loose. See, so I popped the hand out with the little Origins peg, and it's really sloppy. And then look at the head too, really wobbly. Once I popped it off the ball peg, I'm gonna have to tighten it up with some kind of clear gel. I don't know if it's the head on the ball peg or the ball peg inside the body. But it's really sloppy all of a sudden. Kind of making me nervous with this figure. So moving to the left side, the arm is all the same as the right. I'm not even going to try to pull it out because, yeah, doing this one was a little bit finicky. But that joint, too, is really stuck. It's, all right, there it goes. So it goes up, go down. As far as articulation, let's test it out. Go forward, go back. And we're familiar with this brace. And the same thing, I can't bend this elbow. It's really stiff. I'm going to have to heat it up, but it does bend. I want to break nothing. So you can spin at the elbow and it should bend. You can see the joint. Same type of wrist bracer, right? All part of sculpt painted, and same type of weapon gripping hand. I could spin and the hinge joint and go in and out. and with the nails. Yeah, these hands are really rubbery, by the way, to put weapons in. They're not like too hard. But yeah, I do have some issues so far in this figure as far as the joints, like with the head, the arm, and the wrist joints. Moving down to the waist and legs. So, of course, you can spin at the waist and come apart at the waist. And it's regular origin style waist peg, as you can see that. And then he has this loin protector piece, right? That's its own individual piece that could pop off like so. So I'll do that off camera, or on camera. And we put this back together, so spin at the waist. Now you can get a better look at the 2000X style belt loincloth that they added with this figure, front and the back. And yeah, again, we'll go back to this soon. I don't think it hinders anything with the articulation because it's like split. But moving down to the legs, so all new legs, oversized legs. As far as articulation, go all the way out with a split, and it looks like these can come off if you wanted to. I'm just not going to mess around with it, but yeah, they definitely could pop out. And I don't see no drop joints with this figure. I don't think he has them. Maybe he does. Yes, he does. Okay, because of the gap. So it looks like they can come off the pegs, and it's also a drop joint that can go up and down, I think. Let me show it this side. Yes, it's just really tight. All right, so he has a drop joints. I can do that. You can kick forward, go back. You can, wow, that knee too. Okay, bend at the knee. How about that one? Oh my God. All right, spin at the knee, bend at the knee. You gotta be very, there it goes. Okay, bend at the knee. Just being very careful with this figure. And then he has these knee shin protectors. Once again, has spikes. Very similar to the elbow protectors up top, or shoulder protectors. Looks something like that. They wrap around here. You can see it has a piece that goes down with another like an ankle piece to protect the ankle, but yet it's open. And it looks like they can come off by removing this leg piece. So they can spin, and then again, there's the leg piece that can spin all around. And then here's a look at the foot, the new style foot for this Beastman. I'm sure it'll use for other characters. And as far as articulation, you can go up, down, and rock all around, so that looks good. The other leg, let's test it out. Forward, back, bend. Yeah, see, I don't want to kind of, I'm going to leave that alone for now to heat it up. But you should be able to bend at the knee and spin at the knee as well. And of course, you can spin at this piece and take it off. And then with the foot, you can go up, down, rock side to side. So that looks good. And then getting back to these pieces, let me see if I'm going to try this on camera because it feels like it wants to come right off. There you go. So you're going to pop the peg off. It's a regular origin style peg. Just look at the foot, right? And it looks like this is going to come off like so. And then these little pieces, let's see how they pop. Maybe the foot comes off. I'm trying to do this on camera. I don't want to break nothing. It doesn't feel like it wants to come off, but I would think this slides down, the foot comes off. It's not coming off of my figure yet. And then real quick, here's a look at that loin protector that I removed off the waist. Let's get a closer look at it. The textures, so it has pretty good texturing in it. Interesting colors. It has two colors with the belt going all the way around. The belt's all part of it. Got a lot of slop here with the paint. Even this little piece here. Look in the back. And then going back to these legs with these protectors. Yeah, I know they come off. It seems to me as there's a way on an angle. If I was looking in there, the peg should come out of his foot. But mine's, yeah, it's not pulling out. I don't want to break anything. And I pulled the other leg off as well. Said maybe just this one. And yeah, I can't remove these feet. Again, I don't want to break anything, but I'm pretty sure somehow these come, the feet come off. And these pieces would just slide off the foot. I'm just going to leave them on for now. Moving forward, taking a look at Beastman's new whip. Look at the size of that. Gigantic. It's just one big hard piece of plastic. Doesn't have any type of bendy wire in it. It's kind of pre-posed. Has a large handle, as you can see, which is, it's not too gummy, but it is a harder rubber that can still warp. But I gotta say, it's a pretty cool design for the whip, the position it's in. It's really long, too. It's got to be almost close to a foot in length. Okay, once again, jumping back over to Beastman, all done back up with the feet on and the loin cloth protector. Yeah, I could not get these off or remove the feet. I'm just going to leave them. But for the most part, there's a look with the whip in hand. Kind of cool. But the thing is, like, see, the more I mess around with this hand, look how loose it is. So that's what I'm going to point out right now. This figure has a lot of issues once you start messing around, pulling things apart. As I said, my head's really wobbly now. I can fix that with a little sticky tack. The hand, same thing with the joint. I can't move that elbow. Look at the seam in the body there. And another thing I'm going to point out too is this type of plastic feels very cheap. It's not like a regular Origin style plastic that's just, it's just harder. It seems more rugged. Like this He-Man here, this does not feel like that. So you got to be very careful bending arms. If they don't move, don't force them, heat them up. like this one's stuck, because I feel like you'll snap those pegs inside. Okay, before we finish the video up, here's a quick look at a couple size comparisons against our new 2000X inspired Beastman. So here's a look at the regular Origins Beastman and our cartoon Beastman against this Beastman as far as size, right, and overall width. I mean, look at the size of him, man. He's big. That's pretty cool. Again, I like that they went with that oversized design for Beastman, like in that show, because I think he should be a big character. From the side, back. And lastly, here's a quick look at our new 2000X Beastman against the regular Origins 2000X inspired He-Man. So that's their version of 2000X He-Man. If you haven't seen it before, they made a couple variants out. And they made a Skeletor as well. So until the He-Man comes out, you could use this He-Man against this Beastman. That's what he looked like as far as size and scale. That's pretty much it. So, you know, I gotta say, it is cool looking for an oversized Beastman. I said that a couple times. I do like the colors, the design, the head sculpt. Giant whip, the arms, the fur piece, but yeah, mine has a lot of issues. So you can see that, just the hand keeps swinging in. As soon as I disturbed the joints and pulled it out to show that it was Origins pegs, now this thing is like, it's all over the place. I still can't move this arm. The minute I pop this one out, it wants to keep coming out, you know, when you're trying to articulate it. Yeah, I can't get these feet off to remove these things. I believe they come off, but again, I don't want to break them. And the head, too, it's just all over the place once I pulled it off the peg. Now, there's things I can fix with sticky tack or clear coat or something like that, maybe. I hope. Not really sure. Mine's separating a little bit at the body. But you can push it back in. And, yeah, it just feels like a very cheap plastic. And when I say that, it probably has very cheap joints. So be very careful. You know, you do got to watch that. He falls a lot. It's hard to balance on the feet, like so. How's that? And, yeah, that's about it. It is cool to see our first 2000X cartoon figure. And aside my gripes, they're all going to be different, but just be very careful. And I am looking forward to more. I hope the regular figures like He-Man, I hope the plastics are a little better. Because, again, that just feels very cheap to me. That's my opinion. Maybe it's just my figure. But aside that, it is cool to see the oversized Beastman is part of this wave. So, as always, I appreciate everybody watching. Until next time, take care.